Discovering Chinese dramas in 2018 opened up a whole new world of Asian dramas to me, and I've been hooked ever since. 4 years later, Tea and Soju was born, so that I can extend my love of Chinese dramas and Asian dramas in general to others out there and find a community. So, sit back and let's chat Asian dramas.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Tea and Soju C-Drama podcast. I'm your host, Liliana, and this week's episode is the end of the month, which can only mean it is currently watching list time. Now, I have had quite a few on my list, and last time I did my currently watching for the podcast, I kind of asked you guys what were, what was the best way that you enjoyed the episode. I did that in a poll over on Spotify, and it was whether you wanted it as I did it in the season 1 of Tea and Soju, where I kind of went through my list in categories of what I was really loving to what I was enjoying to what I wasn't quite so enjoying but was just keeping watching. So I did that in season 1. And then in season 2, I kind of tried it where I just basically went through my drama list as it was updated, if that makes sense. So I think a lot of people kind of said they really enjoy the category episodes, how I did it with my categories. So I will be going back to that format, but not till the new year, because this week, the way that I'm recording it, I'm actually recording this episode in 2 parts almost, because there is one show that I really want to check out and I really want to have on my currently watching list for this month, but it doesn't start until the day before I release the episode. So I can't really put it into categories because it'll just be a little bit of a faff to kind of change it up and whatnot. So I'm kind of part recording this now and then recording the rest right before the day before I release the episode, and then you guys just get, one more drama thrown in there for my currently watching list. So that's the plan for this week, and the reason why I'm not doing the currently watching list in categories until the new year is because there's actually not going to be any more currently watching episodes until the end of January. That's just kind of how it's worked out. I have a lot of good things upcoming in December. Guys, I am so excited for December episodes because there's going to be a pretty much a guest every episode, and it's going to be lots of drama trio stuff coming at you, and it's just going to be, it's December, which to me, it just automatically means a lot of like wrap up episodes, as in best of the best, favorite dramas. So please look forward to it, because I think you guys are really, really going to love what's going to come out of December for Tea and Soju. It's going to be a really exciting month. I'm really excited for it. So I hope that kind of comes through across to you guys. So without further ado, let's just do a little bit of housekeeping and then we can get straight into the episode, because I have quite a few shows to talk about. My currently watching list was like down a lot, and then all of a sudden it seems every single drama started coming from me, and not only from Chinese drama land, but from Korea as well. I was like, I haven't been this excited for K-dramas in a hot minute, and now all of a sudden I think this is the most K-dramas that I've had on my currently watching list for, I think, if I'm really going to go looking back, it's probably the most I've had since the beginning of the year. Like, it's been tough for me and K-dramas this year, but it seems like we're finally back on good terms, the two of us, so I'm hoping we can carry that energy into 2024. But just before we get into all of that goodness, just a little housekeeping. If you like the podcast, please remember to, like, subscribe and share and whatnot. That really, really does help the podcast find other listeners and help grow our little community. Speaking of communities, if you'd like to chat with other fellow Asian drama watchers, enthusiasts in a nice little safe spot, then Discord is there. I have the Tea and Soju Discord that is completely free for you guys to join up. And, we chat J-dramas, K-dramas, C-dramas, just, we even have like a little channel for food where we share recipes and stuff like that. It's a lot of fun over there. And you'll also find other content creators over there. So Jess from The Day Bark is over there, and Caitlin from No Sleep for Dramas. Naz is also over there. So a couple of other content creators do join in every now and again. So that's a lot of fun. And that link is in the description box for this episode and pretty much every episode. So that is there. And if you feel intimidated because you've never really used Discord, that's fine. We were all beginners at once, and, we are pretty nice over there. We tend to kind of even when we disagree, we can have really good conversations out of it. So that's the Discord server. And then if you'd like to further support the podcast, we have a Patreon. Now, Patreon, I release quite a few things over there. I do movie reviews and first impressions and, last impressions sometimes. But if you want to get my thoughts as I'm watching and my very first impressions on dramas, then Patreon is the place to go to. And also on Patreon now, if you use Spotify, you can link up your Spotify account, and anything that I release over on Patreon, you'll be able to listen to on Spotify. So you don't necessarily have to go on Patreon. Everything that's there will just be in the Spotify playlist for you. So you can just listen directly on Spotify. So there is that as well. Anything else apart from that, Instagram, TikTok, all of those socials are linked in the description. You can come and chat to me on any of them. I am always more than happy to talk to any of you guys because, I'm a talker. I like talking. So, always come and chat to me. I do always reply. And if I don't, it's because I've missed it. It has happened, I think, once where I missed a message and I felt so terribly bad. But I don't often, that rarely happens. I do always reply to you guys' messages because I love that you guys come and talk to me. So that is it. That's all the housekeeping. And without further ado, let's get straight into this episode because we have quite a few dramas to cover. And, we'll see. We'll see. You will find it quite interesting. So right off the bat, I will say there is 2 dramas that you would probably think would be on my currently watching list. Both of them released fast passes and I have finished both of them, and I won't be talking about them for the simple reason that I guess you guys can know I'm doing a review for both of them, and that is Only for Love with Wang Hedi and Bai Lu. I am doing a special guest review for that one, which will be coming to you in December. I told you, December's going to be a great month. And then there is the Story of Kuning Palace, and that one is also going to be a guest review. That one will come a little bit later on. I think might not air it till January probably, but the reason being is I have completely finished the show, but it's going to be really exciting because I'm actually going to read the book it's based on. There is a really good translation for it, so I'm going to be reading the book, and the guest that I'm going to be having on has also read the book, so we're going to be doing a little deep dive into everything that is Kuning Palace in terms of drama versus book and whatnot. So that's going to be really interesting. I hope you guys look forward to that. But those are the 2 dramas. Let's just say, guys, Only for Love, I have conflicting notes on. I'm still not sure what I can think of it. Kuning Palace, I absolutely loved it, and I will probably mention it before the review episode comes out simply because I am pretty sure it will make my top 5 this year. That's how much I loved it. So, if you don't, well, you're not. If you think, oh, that's strange, she's not mentioning those 2 dramas that she's been obsessed with lately, that's the reason why. They are both done and finished, and I finished them both. So that's just a little aside note. And the first up, now I've literally just watched episode 10 of this before I sat down to record, and that is the Korean drama Perfect Marriage Revenge. Now this is such Mak Jung goodness. I am obsessed with this drama right now. I am running every Saturday and Sunday to watch it. It's a lot of fun. It just reminds me of telenovelas that I grew up watching, and it brings back all of those feelings. It's kind of like those dramas that are so bad that they're good. I don't know what it is, but And I'm not the only one. There's a lot of people that are absolutely loving this, and even people that don't necessarily like MacJung, they are enjoying this one. And I tell you why. So the problem with me with MacJung a lot of the time is that it tends to be, you know, the Weekenders, the 50 episoders. And you guys know, I don't necessarily have a problem with long format dramas. I watch Chinese dramas. They're long as heck. Like, I don't have a problem with it being long, as long as there's enough story for that. But the problem with, like, the Weekenders is they tend to be quite long, and there's not enough story, so they keep going in circles and circles. The one that I can clearly remember is the K-drama from earlier this year, The Real Has Come. Goodness, I don't know how I finished that, you know, MacJung K-drama. I just don't know. I really don't. I think it was because I had gotten at that point to episode 35 and I was past the halfway point, and I was like, I will finish this just because it's principle. I'm on principle now. So, I can do MacJung, but a lot of the time, it's 50 episodes. Now, the good thing about this one, it is 12 episodes. And I mean, everything moves so quickly. It feels like there is not a single minute wasted in this drama. And I adore that. I really, really do. It makes it so much more fun to watch and so much more engaging, just because I can't blink away from the screen because I'll miss something really important. There's secrets upon secrets, as with every MacJung. It's just a constant influx of bad people doing really, really bad things, and then like good people trying to be really good. So I don't think I'm selling it that well, but honestly, it's one of the favorite K-dramas that I'm currently watching. I'm just completely obsessed with it. It finishes up next week, so we're almost done with it. And I actually think it's probably going to make my, top Asian dramas, except Chinese dramas. You guys know, so I watch so much Chinese dramas that I tend to make two separate lists. One of them is my best of the best Chinese drama 20, whatever year we're in. And then I make one that is for everything else that I watch. So that be, Korean dramas, Japanese dramas. So I think this one is probably going to make my, Asian drama list for this year, just because I've had such a good time watching it. So yeah, that is Perfect Marriage Revenge. If you guys aren't watching it, you need to, because honestly, like, even people that don't enjoy MacJung are enjoying this and they are here for it. So just try it out. It is wild, it is crazy, but it's kind of like, a train crash that you can't look away from. That's how I would describe it. So that's Perfect Marriage Revenge, and I am pretty much caught up with it. So episode 10 aired today, and like I said, I literally just watched it. There's a lot of twists and turns in this drama, but it's so good. So swiftly moving along to our first Chinese drama on my currently watching list for November 2023. I had to think there. I can't believe it's already November, guys. Like, I'm going to blink my eyes and it's going to be Christmas. And I was talking to somebody over the weekend. I was recording a guest spot for another podcast and we were chatting. And I was saying, I'm kind of excited. It's not necessarily for Christmas, because for me, Christmas, being an immigrant and being away from home is always a little bit hard. But like, for Portuguese people, a lot of the time, yes, family, but it's the food, guys. We eat so much food at Christmas time. It's kind of like we get, so traditionally we celebrate from the 24th to 25th in the evening. So our Christmas dinner is kind of like the 24th. And we have a cod with potatoes and whatnot. That's like our main, Christmas meal. And funnily enough, like, you then have tables upon tables of desserts. Like, it is so good. I just eat for a whole week. And like I was saying to the person that I was talking to, I get that whole week off work, and that's what I call my brain switch off kind of week, because Christmas is done by then. I don't go back to work till New Year's, and actually I don't, my partner's at work, most of my family's at work, that, the one that does live in the UK, everybody's kind of at work. So I just sit and watch dramas like completely guilt-free. That's what I do for that kind of like week. So I'm very excited because that's what I'm going to get to do. So yeah, it is what it is. I get excited over being home for the whole week so I can watch dramas guilt-free. Like, I feel like that's any Asian drama watcher's kind of like little spot of heaven in a sense. So yeah, going back to my currently watching list, you guys can tell that I'm very, all over the place. But so the one that I started is called I May Love You. Now this one has just literally, so I'm recording this on the Sunday, and this one has just started airing today. Yeah, November 25th. So it just started airing today. It is a Mango TV drama, but it is also available on WeTV and Viki, and those are my preferred platforms because we all know Mango TV sucks for subs. So, it is what it is. I've literally only watched 2 episodes, so I'm very barely in this drama, because it's a 24 episode drama, so not too bad, but the episodes are slightly longer. They're about 50 minutes, which is interesting. 24 episodes usually tend to sit around 40 minutes. So I wonder if they just kind of like, this was meant to be a 30 episoder and they kind of like decreased the amount of episodes but increased the length of the episodes. But the description for this one is, for several years, screenwriter Tang Xin has been in love with her manager Tang Yu. Even though he is smitten with her best friend, she's been bottling up her emotions, hoping nobody will discover her secret. That all changes one fateful day when her friend finally tells Tang Yu she isn't interested in him. Tang Xin plucks up the courage to confess her true feelings to her boss, who promptly rejects her. Crestfallen, Tang Xin decides to turn over a new leaf and hands in her resignation. But Tang Yu doesn't want Tang Xin to leave the company and tries to convince her to stay. Can he do it? And despite the ensuing awkwardness, could love come calling for this duo? So it's kind of like, I would say, so our female lead, when we open up the in episode 1, our female lead is already very much in love with our male lead. Our male lead is in love with somebody else. So it's kind of like that setup. And I thought it was going to be, I don't know, I at first, when I kind of heard the premise for it and the promo coming out, I was like, I'm not too sure. But the reason I went in, guys, I will tell you. The reason that I went in is it's because this is Wei Zimeng. We've just seen him in Only for Love, and I have seen him in a bunch of stuff, and I really like him. So he's an actor that I tend to check out his roles. So I was like, I'm going to give it a shot. And actually, I watched episode 1 and episode 2, and I was like, I don't mind this. I'm going to keep going. Like I said, I am very barely in the story, so I haven't watched a lot more out of it yet, and I don't know what's, going to come from the rest of it. But so far, I can kind of see where this is going. It's probably going to be he is going to end up falling for her. Obviously, this is a romance drama. I mean, is there any other way? But it's just one of those where he doesn't necessarily, I feel like this possibly is going to be one of those that she falls first, but he falls harder kind of drama. So I'm quite excited. And also the fact that it's set in a, what's the word I'm looking for? Screenwriters and, a production company. That's the word. It's based in a production company. That kind of calls to my attention. So yeah, like I said, I have only watched 2 episodes. So I haven't got a lot of thoughts as of yet, but I did enjoy those 2 first episodes, so I'm excited to keep watching. So the next one that I have on my list is one that's carried over from the previous month, and it is finished airing. I don't know. I feel like I just need to be in the right mood for it, and maybe I'm not, so I'm watching a little bit here and there, and that's Rising with the Wind. It's the modern business romance drama with Gong Joon and Elaine Zong. So yeah, I kind of talked about this one in my last currently watching, so I'm not going to go too further into it. But yeah, I feel like I'm just getting to the point where, you know, the female lead kind of starts changing up. I've watched 14 episodes, so I definitely do want to carry on with it, but it's not one that it's like gripping me. But I do know so many people have watched it, and like so many mutuals have watched it, and they've said it's one of the better romance dramas that they've watched out of 2023. So I will definitely finish it before ends the year, because if I do end up really falling in love with it, I'd feel really bad to not put it in my best of the best episodes. So I definitely want to finish it up before then. But yeah, so that's Rising with the Wind. Next up is one that I really haven't heard a lot of people talk about. And I know it's out there, and I know like people have enjoyed it, and that is Daily Dose of Sunshine. And this one stars Park Bo Young, Yeon Woo Jin, Jang Dong Gyun, and Lee Jong Un. Now, this drama is basically, so the MDL description reads, Jong Da-eun works as a nurse. She is transferred to neuropsychiatry from the internal medicine department. This is her first time working in neuropsychiatry, so everything is difficult and awkward for her. Nevertheless, Jong Da-eun tries her best to deal with the patients, and she grows as a nurse with the help of chief nurse Song Hee-jin. Dong Go-woon works as a doctor and specializes in proctology. Watching nurse Jong Da-eun and her pure ways, Dong-gu-yoon realizes that he smiles when seeing her and is even healed by her. Meanwhile, Jong Da-eun is friends with Song Gyu-chan. He looks like a very bright person but holds pain inside that nobody knows about. So this is kind of like... This is a heavy show, guys. It's meant to be slightly light, but it's dealing with mental health issues. So it's gonna be heavy at some points. I watched the first episode, and I will say I kind of enjoyed how well they're handling the, mental part of it, because this could go sideways very quickly if it's done poorly. But so far, it isn't. This is one of those dramas that is part of those. So I wanted to check out a couple more of 2023 Korean dramas for my, Asian drama wrap up of the year, and this is one of those that I didn't hear a lot of people talking about it when it came out, and I feel like it's probably because it came out, I think they released the whole drama, and it came out amongst a bunch of other ones that were already, on air, and people were really enjoying it. So it kind of got, I think, almost overshadowed. Now, I love Park Bo Young. I feel like she's a really great actress. She's very special. I mean, she was, the first K-drama actress that I watched ever. So to me, she's, kind of holds a very special and near part. So I really wanted to check this one out, and so far I'm really enjoying it. I feel like this has the potential to be not the same storyline, because obviously, I was going to say something Move to Heaven, but Move to Heaven deals with death, and this deals with mental health issues and that. So like I said, I think also this kind of drama, people have to be either in a very specific mindset or, they have to be able to deal with it, I believe. So who knows? I'm going to see how it's going to go. I've only watched the first episode. So again, one that I'm very, very early into still. And I don't have a lot of commentary on it, just having watched the first episode. But I'm intrigued enough to keep going, and I do definitely want to watch some more about it. So yeah, that's this one for the time being. And I also think that this one is just one of those dramas that I feel like there's the potential for it to be very healing throughout it, because obviously the point of them is that they want to cure these people, or if not cure them, then to make them able to live as good a life as they can. So I feel like this is going to be healing in that sense. But again, I haven't watched much more than the first episode, so I can't comment quite on it as of yet. Hopefully, we shall see where it goes, and we shall see if it ends up on my end of year wrap up or not. Now, the next one, guys, it is another Korean drama, and I have been so freaking excited for this drama. And the main reason is because the female lead is Lee Se-young, and I am like, I love Lee Se-young. Like, I just feel like she's such a versatile actress, and also I feel like she's a bit of an underrated actress in general. But she's so versatile. I mean, I've seen her in romance, I've seen her in fantasy, I've seen her in a crime thriller, and she slays every single character. I just feel like she's one of those female actresses that I really, really love. And anytime she's in a drama, I'm like, I'll check that out. I will give it the benefit of the doubt and I will check that out. So the drama that we're talking about here is the story of Park's marriage contract. Now, this is kind of like the rom-com that I was looking forward to in K-dramas. It is a time travel. So basically the story follows a female lead in Joseon time, and basically she doesn't want to get married. She comes from a, well enough family. Her dad goes to court, that sort of thing. So she is doing really well. But the thing that she loves to do is make clothes. Obviously, back in those days, women were not allowed to run a business, especially noble women, which she is a part of the nobility. So, she's just kind of hanging in there, doing her clothes behind everybody's backs and kind of like being sneaky about it. But then an edict comes across, and kind of like her parents find out that what she's been doing. So they're like, enough of that, you are getting married. And she kind of thinks that she's going to get married to this awful person. Turns out that she isn't. She's going to get married to someone who she knows. They kind of met. It's kind of like all the tropes, isn't it? They have met when they were kids, and he's been in love with her for a really long time. Now, his family has hidden from her family that he's really sick. He has a heart condition and his heart could just go at any moment. And unlucky for her, it goes on their wedding night. And she's like, are you kidding me? So then they... obviously, back in those days, she would be stuck living with her in-laws, and basically the in-laws kind of like take care of her by, throwing her into a well. And then after that happens, she gets thrown from, Joseon Dynasty to 2023 Seoul, and she wakes up and her husband is there, but obviously not her husband. It's the reincarnation of him. So that's how the story kind of like sets up. And basically they have now, through shenanigans, entered a fake marriage. And this is where we've left it off. I have only watched 2 episodes because at this time there is only 2 episodes out. And when I tell you guys, I am obsessed with this drama already. Like, I love it. I see a lot of potential. So the male lead for this is Bae In-hyuk. He's been in quite a few things. So he was in Under the Queen's Umbrella, he was in Cheer Up, he was in Why Her. So I have seen him in quite a few things, and I'm really happy that he gets to play like very much front and center male lead in this. I think he can do a really nice job here. He plays your very typical cold male lead, and it's kind of interesting because back in the Joseon time, he was very much a really nice, really open-hearted kind of person, and she liked him straight away. And obviously that's not the kind of person he is in 21st century 2023 Seoul. So she's all over the place and she's like, what is happening? She doesn't know where she is. She has no freaking clue how anything works. And when I tell you, Lee Se-young just plays this comedy down to a T. I feel like she has this very, very good comedic timing where, sometimes like the jokes might not land, but when she does it, they always tend to land just because she doesn't overact them or anything. It just kind of feels natural in a sense. So does any of that make sense? I just feel like she leans really well into comedy. So I am very much looking forward to this one and to see where it goes. I have a couple of like theories because obviously what's going to happen? Is she going to stay stuck in 2023 with him? Is he going to remember her from Joseon Dynasty? Like, a lot of things can be happening. The other thing that I really, really enjoy about this is that it's a 12-episode drama. And I feel like for this type of setup, a 12-episoder could work really, really well. So yeah, that is it. And I am watching this over on Viki. So that is the story of Park's marriage contract. I'm really enjoying this one. I'm just a little bit sad that even however much I'm enjoying it, I won't be able to put it in end year's review because it'll be done in January. And you guys know, I do not rate or review anything that I haven't fully watched because, you know, I just think everything can go downhill very quickly in the last couple of episodes. So if a drama physically finishes in the next year, then I count it as like a next year drama, if that makes sense. So yeah. So moving up next, we have Moonlight. Now, this is a very short drama, and I think I talked about it last month when I did my currently watching, so I'm not going to go too much into detail on this one. I am just going to sit down and binge the rest of it. Like, I don't have a lot left. It is 16 episodes of 12 minutes. It's okay so far. The story is absolutely bonkers, completely bonkers, but the main couple has pretty good chemistry, so that is Moonlight. Now, the next one is yet another Korean drama. I am full of Korean dramas. Like I said, this is, I think, the most Korean dramas I've had on my currently watching list for a really long time. And that is the drama My Demon, and that is airing over on Netflix. And this stars Kim Yoo-jong and Song Kang. Now, you know, guys, these two are visually stunning. Let's just put it that way. So whenever they're on screen together, they sizzle just because, like I said, visually stunning. So the story is as such. The MDL description reads, Do Do-hee is the successor of the Future Group. She has an arrogant and cool-headed personality who doesn't trust in anyone. She is cynical about love. Do Do-hee gets involved with a demon named Jong Koo-won and makes a contract marriage with him. She faces big changes in her life. Jong Koo-won is a demon. He can live for eternity by making dangerous but sweet deals with humans who endure hellish lives. He looks down upon humans and he has prowled over this world like an apex predator for 200 years. He gets involved with Do Do-hee and somehow loses his power all of a sudden. He then enters into a contract marriage with her. To prevent his own extinction, he must protect Do Do-hee, who has taken all of his power. Their relationship develops romantically. Now, I have only watched the first 2 episodes again, so I am not going to spoil anything because I haven't watched a lot of anything. I will say my first couple of reactions are the comedy on this is a lot more comedic than I initially thought it was going to be, and I kind of like it. I feel like it's a lot, lighter in tone. The first episode's a little bit heavier just because, we see Song Kang kind of like being a demon and just doing bad things in a sense. So that first episode kind of like sets up how he came to be in 2023 as a demon. But it doesn't tell his whole story. So I'm very, very intrigued to see if they're going to go back into his story, because there is a mention on one of the episodes, it's either episode 1 or it might be episode 1, where one of his kind of like lackeys kind of says, well, you hate humans, but you were human once. So that means that he was made to be a demon after being a human. So that's going to be interesting. And we'll see if that's a thread that they kind of follow back. I hope they do, because it would be fun to see how he became a demon. But I think that will come into play. Now, episode 2, he's completely out of his powers, and it is absolutely hilarious. Like, just seeing him so out of it because, he doesn't know what to do without his powers is hilarious. And Song Kang is absolutely nailing this comedy. Like, he's just going with the role and it's suiting him really, really well. So I'm very interested to see where it's going to go. I can't wait to see them do, more lovey-dovey scenes, because we've seen the trailers. The chemistry already sizzles. And again, they're stunning on screen, both of them. Like, there's these kind of like walks that the camera just hits Song Kang right. And it's not in a, oh, look at me model pose kind of thing. It's like the camera just knows how to make him look even better. So yeah, I'm very intrigued. They are both, I kind of like that at the core, they are both very prickly characters, and they're going to have to learn to get over that in a sense. So I'm very, very interested to see where we're going to go with this. They're obviously going to have to develop feelings for each other and that sort of thing. But, as soon as they say contract marriage, I am like, where do I sign for this? Because it is one of my all-time favorite tropes. So I just adore contract marriages, and I'm very, very excited. The only thing that I'm a little bit hesitant about is this is 16 episodes. And yes, I know that is very typical for a Korean drama, but I don't know, guys. 16 episodes feels like a lot of time for this drama, and I just feel like it doesn't get muddled, or we don't keep going around and around in circles just to get to, fill up that space, because also the episodes are about 1 hour 10 each. So like I said, that is a typical K-drama length, but for this sort of story, I just hope it doesn't get too padded out in a sense, just to be, to reach that target of 16 episodes and all of that time. But as of yet, I really enjoyed the 2 first episodes. I feel like it's a promising start. But then again, this year has been the year where every K-drama for me has started off really, really well, and then it's just gone downhill. So I'm just praying and hoping that both My Demon and Park's, the story of Park's marriage contract, both just like keep going really well for me, because I would really like to be loving Korean dramas again. So yeah, so that's My Demon. The next one I'm watching, it's actually a variety show, and it's called As You Wish, Story of Kuning Palace. It is 6 episodes, and it is on iQIYI, and it is basically like the cast, most of the main cast from The Story of Kuning Palace. So Bai Lu, Zhang Linghe, Wang Xingyu, Li Xining, Zhou Duwei, Xu Xiaoyang, Qin Tianyu, Elise Yi, and Jing Long. And they are basically just doing, typical variety things. So they have to do, one of the first games in the first episode is they kind of like, all of them each have their own booth, and they kind of have to go in the booth, and they have to, there's like 3 items, and they all have, the aim is for them all to pick the same item, and it is hilarious. Now, you guys know I am by nature a Bai Lu lover, and she does so well in variety because she's hilarious and she gets everybody going, and then she starts laughing and everybody else starts laughing, and it's just kind of like contagious. So this is kind of like my end of day relax not drama because it's a variety show. This one together with Happy Camp, which is a MGTV variety show, did one with the cast of Only for Love. So they had Bai Lu and Wang Hedi on there, and Wei Zining, and I think they had one other person on there that I can't remember. But they had a bit of the cast there, and it's hilarious because Wang Hedi used to be a regular member on Happy Camp. Is it Happy Camp or is it Happy Saturday? Oh, I'm gonna have to look it up because I think it might be Happy Saturday. Let me just double check. Oh, it is. It's Hello Saturday. Okay. See, clearly I don't know. It's Hello Saturday. So yeah, that's what it's called, Hello Saturday. And yeah, they have those members on there, and it's hilarious, guys. They have to like react to scenes from the drama, and one of them is like is Wang Hedi asking Bai Lu to marry him, and it's honestly the funniest thing I've ever watched, because those two together, they are both so chaotic. They have such chaotic energy together. So them two in Variety, very, very funny. You can watch that on MGTV and on YouTube. It is like almost 2 hours long, so I'm watching like little bits here and there, and I feel like that's a great way to watch it. So that's the two varieties that I'm watching, As You Wish, and the other one being Happy Saturday again. Yes, Happy Saturday. That's the one it was. Clearly, guys, I am very much out of it. So that's the two varieties. The next one that I'm finally watching is one called Dating in the Kitchen. Again, not going to mention too much about this one because we do have an upcoming review on this one with a guest. I don't think it'll actually air till January. But I don't think I'll air the episode till January, but I am just making my way through it and really enjoying it so far. It feels like I was really unsure about this, mainly for the main pairing. I didn't think I was going to like the male lead necessarily. So the female lead is Zhao Lushi and the male lead is Lin Yu Shen. I don't think I've ever watched him in anything at all. But like I said, I was very, very worried that I wasn't going to like their pairing. But just a heads up, I actually really do. Like pretty much from episode 2 or 3, I was like, okay, I'm sold. I'm sold on this. So that's Dating in the Kitchen. And then next up, we have the Japanese drama Trillion Game. Now, this is when I kind of started on a whim. It came out of nowhere. I didn't know it was airing. I came across it. I think it was an edit on TikTok. And I was like, this looks really, really interesting. And basically, the main lead for it is Meguru Ren, and he's been in a bunch of stuff. He's the male lead from Silent, and he's also done the movie As Long As We Both Shall Live, which is basically the remake of, well, not the remake, but it's the anime A Happy Marriage on Netflix is also the same story. And the other male lead is Sano Hayato, and the female lead is Imada Mio. Now, Imada Mio is the female lead that played the main role in As Long As We Both Shall Live, so it's kind of like a reunion for these two, but in a drama form. And the MDL description is a little bit like hard for me to describe, so I'm going to read you the MDL description. Tanoji Haru is an excellent communicator. He is loved by all people regardless of age or gender. He appears like an easygoing person, but he is actually ambitious and will do anything for success. Haru is offered a job with the nation's largest IT company, Dragon Bank, but he turns down the offer. Instead, he decides to start his own business with his friend Taira Manabu. His goal is to earn $1 trillion. Meanwhile, Taira is an excellent engineer with remarkable IT knowledge. Personality-wise, he is quite the opposite of Haru. He's passive and has a hard time communicating with people. Due to that, he failed a job interview with Dragon Bank and set a new goal of earning $1 trillion with Haru. So basically, it's about two friends. They are complete opposites. And what I really, really love about this is that Meguru Ren is playing, like, it's night and day from his characters that I've seen in Silent or, in the movie As Long As We Both Shall Live. Completely different character. He is very spunky, very outgoing, and everybody kind of loves him. So I'm like, I am sold. This actor can do no wrong, apparently, and he can play very, very different roles. So I'm very excited. I have only watched 2, maybe 3 episodes so far, and it's really interesting because they kind of show you how they meet up and how they decide to start making $1 trillion. But the interesting thing is they kind of jump to the future and show you something from the future, and then they jump back to show you how they're going to get there, if that makes sense, which I kind of really enjoy those types of plots. And I thought this might be a little bit boring because, it's IT and whatnot, but actually they are doing it really well. It is only focused on their journey and like why they want to get to that $1 trillion and all of this. So I'm so far really enjoying it. And that's Trillion Game. So next up, I'm not going to talk about this one too much, but it's the Korean drama Moving. I am 8 episodes into it now. And the reason why I'm watching this one is because I put up a poll and I kind of said, guys, if you were to recommend me a drama from 2023, a Korean drama from 2023, which one shall I watch? Now, Moving was tied with My Dearest. And I hear you guys. I really do. Jess absolutely loves My Dearest, and Sarah from K-Drama This absolutely loves My Dearest. And I'm like, I hear you guys, I really do, but I don't know if this type of drama is for me. But I will say, I will give it before the end of the year and before I sit down to record Best of the Best, Asian dramas for 2023. I will sit down and I will give My Dearest another go. I will give it at least 5 episodes, let's put it that way, because it's a 20 episode, I believe. So I will give it 5 episodes. If by the 5th episode, I'm not like, I'm invested in this and I get it, then I clearly have to say goodbye to it and think it's just not aimed at me. I am not necessarily a Saeguk type of person. I think, I've watched quite a few, but it tends to be, I have to be in a specific mood for them, but also they just have to grab me very, very quickly, because otherwise I don't necessarily, I get a little bit bored from them. So yeah, we shall see. I hear you loud and clear. I will give My Dearest another try. We shall see. But the one that I am watching and that I did go back to is Moving, and I think everybody out there has watched Moving by this point, so I'm not going to go too much into it, but I am really, really enjoying it. I love, the school kids couple. That's where I'm at right now. But I have also heard a lot of people saying that the adult restaurant owner couple is, brilliant. I haven't quite gotten to their story yet, but I'm excited to do so because I have heard so many of you guys speak wonderful things about them. So that's Moving. That's the one, I'm currently watching. We'll see. We'll see if it'll make it into my top 5 for this year. We'll see. We'll just leave it for that. And then lastly is one that I kind of just dip in and out of, and is Please Don't Disturb My Study. That's one that I kind of already talked about last month. This is one I definitely want to have finished before the end of the year as well. So that one is, like I said, just one I dip in and out when I don't have any other episodes of on-air dramas. But, yeah, that's that one. So we have come to the very, very last show on my currently watching list. And now I am actually recording this little segment at a different time. And by a different time, I mean literally I'm recording it the night before I post the episode, simply because I really wanted to have this show on this month's currently watching. So basically, I feel like lately I have been going through a period historical costume drama kind of phase, and dramas that don't necessarily used to hit with me before, in terms of they tend to be a little bit more politic heavy, have really been hitting with me. And by that, I really do mean A Story of Kooning Palace. That hit me so much. I love that show. But that's not the show we're talking about. The one that I do want to mention is called A Journey to Love. I have been so excited about this drama for a little while. I haven't really watched the female lead before, but I have watched the male lead and I kind of like it. But basically, I'm just going to read you the MDL description because it's super, super short, and it's cool. It says, 2 top assassins from rival agencies and their 6-member team who have diverse backgrounds and unique skills embark on a journey filled with challenges and crisis. So basically we have 2 warring countries, and they basically have 2 teams of assassins, but they kind of, I think, desert their country or whatever. I have only watched 3 episodes at this time of recording. 6 were released today. And this is going to be a pretty fast-paced release. I mean, we're going to get 18 episodes in the span of about 6 days. So they're going to release pretty fast on this one. So that's like the description for it, and it stars Liu Shishi. She's been in things such as My Best Friend's Story and Lost Love in Times. So she's been around for a really long time. Her first drama, from what I gather, was all the way back in 2006. So she is definitely no stranger to acting. One of the male leads is also Liu Yuning. Now, he is, I will say, one of my all-time favorite OST singers and singers in general for Chinese dramas and, you know, in China in general. I really love his voice. His OSTs always land with me. So yeah, but he has been in quite a few dramas lately, one being Heroes, the long ballad with Zhao Lushi that we've sort of talked about, The Legend of Anla. So he's been in quite a few things, and this is, I think, the first one that I'm really, really seeing him fully. We also have the main male lead, Alan Fang, and a couple of others. There's quite a few, like, vast, cast, because obviously there's the two assassins and then there's the team for each assassin group. Now, I am just excited because, first of all, the fact that both the male lead and the female lead are assassins, I'm all in. Like, this is great because this tends to be that they're going to both be on a very equal footing. They both have the same professions. And I was thinking this might be something along the lines of the killer is also romantic. But from the opening episodes, and by this I've literally watched 3 episodes, my conclusion is that's not the case. It's going to be a lot, I think, heavier, at least from what I've watched so far. They're still very much setting up the story at this point, so I don't know what's going to happen. But I think once, like, everybody sort of gets together and the story really starts going, I think it'll be, I think it'll lead to quite a few comedy bits and whatnot. So the screenwriter for this, I'm just having a little look because I haven't had it before. Oh, okay, that's really exciting. So I hadn't looked. I'm now, like, perusing the MGL site for this drama, and I'm finding out with you guys. This is the screenwriter who did Who Rules the World. That's, pretty cool. I watched it. I haven't watched it, but when I went, this is the same screenwriter that did A Dream of Splendor, which is from last year, and I really, really liked it. The female lead in that drama was such a good character. So this screenwriter is obviously no stranger to writing really good female leads, and actually her first drama seems to be all the way back in 2008, and it's a Korean movie called Lovers. Well, that's interesting. But yeah, so this screenwriter also seems to have been around for quite a while. It is a female screenwriter, which, I'm sorry, this might sound really bad, but on the whole, I tend to prefer female screenwriters. They tend to write female leads better, so very exciting for this. I'm even more excited now. There is 2 directors, and the directors this is the same director that did Guardian, which is a pretty big drama, as well as Noble Aspirations. So I feel like we are in pretty good hands. The other director has done things such as The Mystic Nine and Tomb of Sea. So both have done quite a few things in, like, period historical. So that's really exciting. Actually, I'm even more excited now. So what I realized straight away is, if you liked My Journey to You, I think you're going to like this, because it's kind of in the same realm, I would say, as My Journey to You. The story is obviously quite different because obviously we don't have, like, a ruling family. They're both assassins, and, that might mean we may get a happier ending. But this is, to me, is in the realm of My Journey to You, which makes me really excited because I really loved My Journey to You. So we'll see what they do with the pacing, because this is 40 episodes long, so it's a lot longer than My Journey to You. So I'm hopeful that, they can do a really good job with it. It is very much a wuxia drama, and I think like opening episode, the fight scenes in opening episode alone, like episode 1, were really, really good. So that is, you know, a journey to love. I am very excited for it. We shall see where it goes. So yeah, that is it. That is everything on my currently watching list. And also, this is the last currently watching list till 2024, because like I said, December is going to be a really good month for episodes, and I just don't have the time slot to stick in a currently watching. Now, if you guys really want a currently watching, let me know, and I may release it as a special episode. You know, December, I do have a week off work completely, so it's not like I can't squeeze it in and give you guys an extra episode. If that's the case, I'm going to do that on the over on Spotify. I'm going to put that as the poll. If you would like a currently watching episode in December, let me know, and I will do a special release of that, right at the end of December, and I will just let you guys know everything that I've sort of been watching throughout December. So that is everything. All the links and everything will be linked in the description, as well as every single drama that I've mentioned in this episode. You will have that list in the description for this episode. If it isn't there, guys, come and yell at me, and sometimes I forget. Come and yell at me and I'll make sure to update it, but I will try to put everything on there. And yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I shall see you next time for more Asian drama chatter. Bye. Want to find an Asian drama community? Then join the Tea and Soju Discord server, where we chat everything from C-dramas to K-dramas to J-dramas. To chat with me, check out any of the socials. Please help the podcast by rating, viewing, and subscribing wherever you listen to help others find this little corner. Lastly, consider joining Patreon to further support the podcast and receive extra content. All of the links are in the episode description. That's it. This has been another episode of the Tea and Soju C-Drama podcast. I'm your host, Liliana, and I'll see you next week for more C-Drama chatter.